For lesson 28, we're going to look at two-step problems for all operations. So we're going to start off by looking at a situation in which Juan has gained 20 pounds since last year, and he now weighs 120 pounds. Rashad is 15 pounds heavier than Diego, and if Rashad and Juan weighed the same amount last year, how much does Diego weigh? They've asked us to allow J to be Juan's weight last year in pounds, and D to be Diego's weight, again in pounds. These are the types of problems that we were working towards all along, because these are the harder problems. So first of all, we're going to draw a tape diagram to represent Juan's weight. And recall that they told us that Juan has gained 20 pounds since last year, and they told us to allow J to be Juan's weight last year in pounds. So I created a tape diagram with J and 20 more pounds, which is Juan's weight. Next, we'll draw a tape diagram to represent Rashad's weight. Now, our tape diagram for Rashad, since they told us that Rashad and Juan weighed the same amount last year, our tape diagram for Rashad is the same size as Juan's weight from last year, roughly. And they also told us that Rashad is 15 pounds heavier than Diego. And they only asked us to represent J for Juan's weight and D for Diego's weight. So if Rashad is 15 pounds heavier than Diego, we have Diego's weight plus 15, which represents Rashad's weight. Finally, we need a tape diagram to represent Diego's weight. And that tape diagram will simply be the same size as the D in Rashad's weight because that represented Diego's weight. If we were then to combine all three tape diagrams, we would have these three. And remember that we tried to draw them so that they showed how they represent each other. Now, if we write an equation to represent Juan's tape diagram, remember we had J plus 20, which was equal to 120, because Juan has gained 20 pounds since last year. Then the equation to represent Rashad's tape diagram, Rashad was D plus 15 and if we add 20 more, because D plus 15 will get us to J, to Juan's weight. If we add 20 more, then we know that that would equal 120. So by combining 15 and 20 from Rashad's equation, we can use our knowledge of addition identities to determine Diego's weight. D plus 35 equals 120. And so when we calculate Diego's weight, we would subtract 35 from both sides. And we find that Diego's weight is 85 pounds. In example 1, Marissa has twice as much money as Frank. Christina has $20 more than Marissa. And if Christina has $100, how much money does Frank have? We're going to let F represent the amount of money Frank has in dollars, and M represent the amount of money Marissa has in dollars. So we'll draw three tape diagrams, one for each person, and represent them in much the same way we did in our first problem. Now this is really important when we're drawing the tape diagrams, that we see the relationship among them. Frank has F amount of money. Marissa has twice as much as Frank, so Marissa has 2F. And Christina has the same amount as Marissa, but $20 more. Christina has $20 more than Marissa. So Christina has M plus 20, but we know that M is equal to 2F. So really, if we substitute 2F plus 20, we can make an equation that can make things a lot easier. If Christina has $100, how much money does Frank have? Well, if we have Christina's money represented by 2F equals 20, then we can set up the equation 2F plus 20 equals 100 and solve that equation to find out how much Frank has. And what we want to do then is, first of all, we want to take the 20 away, because we can't divide by F until we've done something about adding the 20. So if we do 2F plus 20 minus 20, that will get rid of the 20. And remember, we have to do the same thing on the other side. So that will give us 2F is equal to 80. And from this point, this is a single step equation, and we can divide by 2 on each side and find that F is equal to 40. So Frank has $40. For the rest of this lesson, you'd be working in stations, using tape diagrams and solving the problems in the same way that we did the exercises. And each one is practice. So in order for you to double check, I'll give you an answer to each station, and then you'll need to go back and make sure that you can prove that with your tape diagrams and your algebraic equations. In station 1, Madeline is 20 years old. In station 2, Braylon has 15 apps on his phone. In station 3, Adrian, ran 90 yards during the football game.